Jeff and Steph's Excellent Adventure.
Hi guys, Jeff and Steph's, right there.
Another exciting episode. Maybe not that exciting. This
It'll
is
be
serious.
This will be exciting for the RVer.
Right.
Not so much for the non-RVers, but we felt it was an important point to hit on some of this information. We are on month 8 of full-time living in our RV. Yay!
Yeah, and it's been great, and we thought we'd share with you what to expect as a newbie when you go out on the road, live full-time in your RV, and travel the country.
Because we were newbies 8 months ago with just minimal experience RVing, and we sold everything, our house, all of our belongings, and we decided to hit the road full-time with our dogs.
Now keep in mind, we're not campers. We're more travelers and adventure seekers.
Glampers, if you
Yeah, we
will.
like to say glampers. We're definitely not your typical camping type.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
No, we don't
yeah.
do tents, and we don't do sleeping on the ground, but you know, this comes with its own set of kind of like guidelines, if you will.
And if you want to live this life, you don't have to rough it at all. We're not roughing it. I never think of us as roughing it at all. And in fact, I don't even really think of this as a camper. It's just our tiny home that we travel around in.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
let's kind of go over some points here about what to expect as a newbie.
Yes.
And I'll bring up the first item.
Okay.
Expect things to go wrong. Now, that said, I should really knock on wood, but I don't have any, have not had a lot of bad things go wrong.
We've been pretty lucky, and we studied this lifestyle for years, watching YouTube influencers that are full-time RV lifestyle videos, and we learned a lot from them, and learned about what to look for, what to watch for, and we've been pretty lucky so far.
Now, obviously some things can go wrong, completely unexpected, and that's kind of the bulk of what we're talking about and other people are talking about. But keep in mind that, you know, this rig is going down the road, and you hear it all the time about a small earthquake happening the whole time you're driving. Take it easy, okay? If you're full-time RVing, you don't need to go 75 miles an hour on the highway. In fact, do what we do. We go 62.
Yeah,
Set the
he
cruise.
sets the cruise control 62, and that's
Easy
what we
peasy.
do.
Easy
We stay in
peasy.
the slow lane, and we let people
everybody
go around
fly
us
by
if they
you.
need to, and
Yeah, we just say, look at that dummy. You know? So
we have all the time in the world, so we'll get there when we get there. We'd rather be safe and have things intact.
and we've seen some RVs zip by us, and we've seen them
Yeah.
down the road, on the side of the road, blown tires and other issues, and it's almost like it could have been so prevented.
Yeah, and things can go wrong. I mean, one thing that comes to mind is we had a glass bottle of balsamic vinegar in our pantry, and somehow it bounced off a shelf during one of our travel days, and we stopped and we opened the door, and it was a flood of sticky balsamic vinegar, an entire glass jar, big jar, all across the floor. We scrubbed, it splashed on cupboards, doors. I mean, this stuff happens. You're driving your house around the country, so you know, expect these things to go wrong.
And
It's
that could have been, that's probably mostly our fault that we didn't check to make sure everything was secured
For sure.
in the pantry and everywhere else. And it was just kind of a fluke thing, but totally could have been prevented.
Things
But
break.
yeah.
Things, you know, you might have things fall off your RV. We've heard of trim work coming off, cabinets. You know, people have had refrigerators break, things break. You know, just be prepared that it's not, if something big happens, it's not the end of the world. It's, you know, you fix it and move on.
And when you're driving down the highway, you know, check your mirrors, look at the side of the rig. I always say to Stephanie, are those awnings still in, or are they starting to come out?
Right.
And you know, I've seen in my mirror a piece of my trim kind of flapping a little bit, and I knew when I got to the next location that I had to, you know, fix that. So be aware of stuff like that.
Yeah, and our next item we'd like to talk about is Let's see here. We're cheating. We have a cheat list here. Expect to be flexible. So you are in a flexible lifestyle. Things change daily. RV parks can change. You could show up for some extended stay somewhere and they could tell you they have no power, and if you want to stay you have to use your generator, or you can have water go out at the park because someone, a line bursts somewhere down the way. So you have to be really flexible in this life and just go with the flow. I'm a little OCD about things, and that's probably been one of the big things for me. But again, you have all the time in the world. If you're living in your RV, this is, you just go with it. There's no reason to get stressed out about things. It'll just make your journey less enjoyable.
And make sure you check your reservations of the place you're going to, because a lot of times they'll contact you via email, or they'll even call and say, hey, you still coming? And for us, we're like, yeah, of course we're coming.
Right.
But we have heard stories of people that have arrived at their parks and they didn't know who they were, they had no space for them, and they had to go somewhere else. So we're kind of prepared for that to happen, and if it does, we'll have to shift into plan B and find another place to go. You just have to not panic and worry about it, and you'll find another place.
Yeah,
It'll be
flexible. Be flexible, be flexible, be flexible. If someone's sick, the other person knows how to do the backup things, just cover all your bases.
And there is a learning curve when it comes to RV living.
Yeah, expect there to be a learning curve. That's another big point for us.
And a lot of people go out and they've never had a pickup truck, or they've never had a boat or any other trailer that they've ever pulled. And luckily, I've had those types of things where I had the gist of how to tow and how to back up and so forth. But even I said, when we bought our fifth wheel, I said, Stephanie, that thing is huge. How am I gonna?
I'm never gonna be able to back it in.
I'm never gonna be able to do anything with that.
We only can have pull through sites.
Yeah,
But now we're in a back end site. We sit here in one, and Jeff did great. So.
And when you get to a spot, don't get intimidated by the back end sites, because what you're gonna do is take your time. Okay. So some people are gonna come out and watch you because it's huge entertainment at RV parks, and I'm guilty of it. I watch some people.
Yeah, Jeff will stare at the window and tell me when someone new's pulling in because he wants to watch it.
I've even watched one couple, Canadian couple, struggle to get in, and I just went out there and I said, let me kind of show you, and they still couldn't do it.
And the guy told Jeff to get in the driver's seat.
I don't advise that, but they were just so flustered and tired, and it was hot. And I said, yeah, I'll just back it in for you.
And here we are, newbies, a couple months into it, and Jeff's backing people in a huge
Jeff's a pro. It's weird, just like that.
You learn as you go, everything, and you'll learn how to use all your systems. Mm-hmm. You'll learn how to read your little meters or the digital displays on things. You'll learn as you go, and it all just takes time, and be patient with yourself.
You don't have to know everything at once. Okay, you want to get to your spot, get parked safely, and then start your setup. And just take your time. I can't emphasize more. You're a full-time RVer. Take your time. There's no hurry. Everything will be fine. Calm.
You'll be happy in the long run that you took the extra time and did it right.
So much happier.
What's our next thing?
The money thing.
Oh, yes. So expect to spend a lot of money in the beginning. We honestly thought we were so prepared and had purchased big ticket items and things we were going to need on the road.
Well, keep in mind, when you do buy your RV, you spent a large amount of money, maybe even on your tow vehicle. There's nothing else with it. There's nothing else with it. You gotta buy
all your hoses, and
you'll have an electric hookup, your 50 or your 30 amp wire, but you might need an extension cord for that, because at times
you're far away from
your plug-in is just so far away, and when you've already set up, put your stabilizers down, and realize your plug's not going to reach, you got to start all over again. So I highly recommend getting an extension cord for your electric outlet. Number one thing.
Yeah, and just make sure you don't overbuy in the beginning, because it's so easy to think, oh, I'm gonna need this, I might need this, and you really don't need to put anything into it money wise except for your basics, like your sewer hose and your what's it called, surge protector, and you know, like there's a few things that would be awesome to have in the beginning, but the rest isn't necessary. A couple chairs to sit in if you want to sit outside, but you can get things as you go along.
Yeah, and typically Walmart's everywhere. They got
and like Camping Worlds and Danders.
They got a lot of stuff there you might need, and Camping Worlds, they're everywhere. So
we haven't had any problem.
Get the basic
if we need
stuff.
Something. Yep.
Yeah.
What's our next point? Oh, this is my favorite one. Expect to be organized. You are going to be so organized in a tiny space. You have no choice. Everything has a place, and you have to find a place for everything.
And if it doesn't have a place,
yeah,
you got to get rid of it.
Yeah, you become very organized.
You're not going to need it.
Because space is so minimal and it's invaluable. You have to say, is this important enough that I want it to take up this amount of space, or do I want to use it for something else?
We have 4 plates.
Yeah, so you become super
4 knives.
Organized. Yeah.
4
Because
cups.
It sucks when you're opening a cupboard and things fall out, or you're opening a drawer and it gets jammed because there's so much stuff in it. We've been there.
And that stuff that's in the back of your cupboards, like at your home maybe, how often do you take that stuff out?
Yeah.
You'll never take it out in an RV.
So you'll become very organized, and you need to be. It's very helpful in this lifestyle. What's our next thing?
Okay, I can cover this one.
Okay. You do it.
Okay, so all you recyclers out there, and we get it, you know, want to recycle the plastic.
We recycled everything
the
in
glass,
our sticks and bricks house.
The cardboard, the paper, and everything. That's really not an option anymore, because basically you're going to be at an RV park, and they're going to have one big dumpster over there and over there, and everything goes in it.
Expect not to be able to recycle.
So
it's just a fact.
The only thing you can do to kind of offset that is be careful what you buy.
Yeah.
You know, so and that's kind of a whole different topic with buying like water bottles and you know, filtering water so you don't have to buy all that extra plastic and so forth. But there are things that you're going to have to buy that are plastic or cardboard that are going to have to get thrown away. There's just nothing you can do about it. And unfortunately, living the RV life, we like to think we have a little bit smaller carbon footprint anyway, so than having a big house. So it's something you're going to have to learn to deal with, not recycling. So let's move on to the next thing.
Our next thing is, expect internet challenges.
And this is a big subject for a lot of people, because
everyone we talk to in this lifestyle says, first thing they say to us after they find out we're full-time, they say, what do you do for internet? It's like the most common question.
Now, if you're working on the road, which we're not, this is a much bigger
well, we are in the
deal.
Fact that we're doing YouTube.
Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Daily
having to Zoom meetings
yes.
and things like that, we don't have to do any of that stuff. So you're gonna have to figure out basic internet. Now, as far as like TV and stuff, we see people with their big dishes on top of their roofs, and you know, we don't watch a lot of TV. We used to.
Nope.
You know, in the evening we'd sit down and watch TV. We just don't watch a lot of TV, so we don't care that much about it, but we do stream Netflix.
Yeah, we hardly even plug in cable when it's available.
Yeah.
They'll tell us, you have 46 channels on cable, whatever you can plug in. And
I never watched cable before.
Yeah, rarely do we ever plug in unless there's a game or something that Jeff wants to watch. But otherwise, we just pretty much subsist off Netflix.
And then I'll call Stephanie. I'll say, look, there's a commercial on TV. I haven't seen one in years. So
yeah, we use we're pretty much on our phones, laptop, or Netflix all the time. Some parks have really sketchy Wi-Fi connections, and we have been in those where
most
we
of the
only
time
have
they are
1 or 2 bars. But yeah, for the most part, we're getting 3 bars at parks, and Jeff and I have different carriers. I use Verizon, he uses T-Mobile, so one or the other of us usually has good reception, so we can share hotspots.
And we do have a Wii Boost.
Yeah, we do use a Wii Boost, and it does boost us. Like
I recommend a
1 bar.
Wii Boost. It's probably the best thing we bought. So the Wii Boost will give us enough to make calls, text message, or whatever, anywhere that we've been so far.
It
so
adds about an additional bar to our service, is what we found out using it now for 8 months, that if we're at 2 bars, it'll bump us to 3, or you know, it's enough to get us by. And since we're downloading a lot of YouTube videos and stuff, it's really helpful in that instance. But there has been a couple times where I've had to go either walk around the park to a place with better Wi-Fi or go to like a clubhouse at the park because our Wi-Fi is terrible. We actually sat in a Walmart parking lot for 45 minutes one night downloading a video because our reception was so bad.
And we have found a little secret that we'll share with you. If you have to upload or download or do some kind of file early in the morning when a lot of people aren't using the internet.
For some reason, I can get all of our YouTube videos
lot more
downloaded if I start them really early. I'm talking like 5, 6 o'clock. I can get them downloaded.
It's
Whereas
crazy
if I try in
fast.
the afternoon or evening, no dice.
Yeah, it's really fast. And
So
we also have the
that works for
what's
you guys.
what's that thing we have that fires?
We
up?
have the Verizon. It's the MiFi. I can't remember what
Booster?
it's called. Yeah, it's a little travel booster, and that helps a lot. So.
And that's just something that that's like a monthly charge of like $30. So we could probably survive without that, but we just felt like, you know, with YouTube, and we have to have something, so we do take that with us. Okay, this
Next one. Expect to see amazing things in amazing places. You're going to. Everywhere you go, your mind's going to be blown.
And this is the part of RV travel that is really fun. Some people love the travel days, some people love the destination. We love both. I mean, we love to travel and see. We have always had a travel bug in our system, so we've always loved to travel. But every small town, I said this before in another video, every small town in America, in any state, is going to have amazing things. You don't have to go to the Grand Canyon and Zion and Moab and all those places. Every little town in America is super cool.
It could be the people that you meet, or it could be the little restaurant you go in, or a park you walk around. There's things that make you feel good every day and make you happy or smile, and those are everywhere.
And
absolutely everywhere.
The thing I love is that you know, I've always been on one coast or the other. I grew up on the East Coast and I lived on the West Coast for 20 years, and Stephanie, she's been on the West Coast for years, and you know, it's very different on the coast. It's very fast and modern. And as soon as you get off the coast, it's like you're going back in time. It's very simple.
Life is simple and slower.
Little towns with real hardware stores and little diners and, you know, little everything. And it's just super cool. It's it makes you happy.
Yes, for sure. You will see amazing things and do amazing things you never thought in a million years you would do.
And to add to this, you're going to meet amazing people too. And, you know, we've talked about this before too. We didn't really know the people, our neighbors in our sticks and bricks. We just kind of, you know, waved, hi, how you doing, and whatever. Maybe help each other in a jam or whatever. But you're going to meet all these like-minded people, and we're all in the same frame of mind, having a great time and just enjoying life to the fullest. And you get out of that rut of, you know, the 9-to-5 life.
That's our next point. Expect to make lots of friends.
Yeah, you're going to make a lot of friends.
Your friendship circle grows so fast when you're RVing, because we really only had, like Jeff was saying, like people through work that we met or neighbors, which we rarely talked to. We just really didn't know our neighbors much. And, you know, we had a few people we talked through work. But we get in this RV life and we have friends all over the country. 8 months. We are texting with friends, calling friends, sending pictures every day, sharing ideas and campgrounds, and it's constant.
It took us off, especially when it took me off guard. It's like, why do people like us so much? You know? It's like, all of a sudden, like, it's like people are so glad to see you.
Your
and
friendship circle just,
they want to know your story and how you're doing. And, you know, they're truly friends that are real.
Yeah. You know, and they're friends you'll keep forever.
Forever, you know. We're very close to people that some we don't see very often, others we see now and then, but
yeah, and the ones we don't see, we talk or text with weekly. So it's like we're always up to date on what's going on with each other.
Yeah.
And where we're at and where we're going.
Yep.
So what do you have next for us?
Well, this gets a little bit back to kind of the first thing, but you are going to have constant maintenance, and if you don't keep up on the maintenance, you're going to start having problems. Now, I'm the type of person that always maintained my vehicles, made sure everything was, you know, done on time, the maintenance schedules were good and everything. To start with, when you hook up and you're towing this down the road, every time you stop, you want to walk around and take a look at this thing and make sure there's nothing going on. You tow vehicle, and your RV. And that's just a small part of it. Once you get to where you're going, you've got to really look everything over. And I'm just talking about the outside right now. There's grease fittings on your trailer typically that need to be greased. There's things that can loosen up on the outside, screws, moldings can come loose. Silicone is going to become your best friend.
Slide issues, making sure your slide's on track and doing what it should.
Yep. And the other big thing is you got to protect your roof. And you know, we have a rubber roof, and I go up there and make sure there's nothing. The air conditioners are tight. The solar panel isn't loosened up. There's no cracks. There's no rips. All that stuff has to be looked at constantly, because if you get a hole in that roof and you're in rain for 2 or 3 days, it could come down and just completely delaminate the side of your RV because you didn't even know it was there. So
there's constant
you see we got a ladder.
maintenance.
Almost all of them have ladders. And,
you can climb up and take a look.
you have to get comfortable going up on the roof and checking things out and making sure everything's
Jeff's
cool.
doing a great job at maintaining tanks. You got to make sure you know you're putting chemicals in where they're needed, and you know, flushing things properly and all the way.
Your hitch needs to be maintained. It needs grease. It has grease fittings. It's all, you know, one big concise unit that has to be taken care of.
And you have interior things too.
And then there's the interior
and
stuff.
then you have the truck, which you got to make sure you're doing oil changes and keeping the tires, you know,
checking your pressures.
Good order, working order.
Yeah, so
there's a lot of things involved, and you're constantly maintaining stuff, meaning on a daily basis. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, on a daily basis.
You kind of have your things to do each morning, and Jeff and I kind of have a little checklist. Okay, today, when I want to flush the tanks, I want to flush really good. Or today, you know, we're going to clean solar panels.
Yeah.
Or today, we're going to, you know, take the truck in for an oil change. You have to have some kind of schedule or something where you're remembering to do all this, because there is a lot involved. It's not just a house sitting there. I mean, you're literally, you have to go through all this stuff on a regular basis.
And typically I know in my head what I need to do, and you know, you don't have to knock all this stuff off in one day, and you know, just try to, you know, do something every day, check things or fix something or look over things every day, and you can stay on top of it. Now, I was good at fixing things ahead of time. Before we went into this lifestyle. It's still not a total necessity to know how to fix things and so forth. There's a lot of people that will help you out.
University. Let me just say that. YouTube University. Every time something goes wrong, the first thing we do is we get on YouTube and we Google the problem, or find out, you know, what are other people doing that have this problem? Or is anyone else having this problem? And they will.
You will not have some strange thing that no one's ever had a problem with. It'll all be out there.
We had an issue with our awnings were really squeaking heavily in the beginning, and we, you know, looked up, watched videos, figured out how to do it, and did it.
Yeah.
So you will learn as you go, but you just have to make sure to, even if you have a new rig and a new truck like we do, there is always going to be stuff that you have to do to maintain it and keep it at that level. So.
Yeah, and I'd like to just touch on something that we weren't going to talk about, but I think this needs to be said, okay? We bought a new rig. I was got a 3 or 5 year warranty, whatever. Now you hear about the warranty work. People will have a problem and their RV will be in the shop for 3 months, 6 months, whatever. My advice is this, okay? Short of something that is not astronomically expensive, if you can't fix it yourself, get an RV tech out, get your rig fixed enough, try to file a claim after the fact. Most of the RV manufacturers are pretty good about this. They may not give you 100% reimbursement, but since you didn't have to bring it into them, they didn't have to deal with it, and you can show clearly what had to be done and what was wrong, you have a real good shot of reimbursement on the charge. But you should have, you know, some reserve money to fix things via RV tech.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be off the road for 3 to 6 months. I can't even imagine that happening to us.
And we used an RV tech on a previous vehicle. We had a motorhome briefly before we had the fifth wheel, and we had an RV tech who was awesome. And he came to us and he fixed everything. He fixed it, you know, then he had the parts with him, or he got them right away and came back the next day. And the charge was nothing compared to being without, you know, your house or your...
For months, maybe,
yeah,
weeks.
definitely worth it. And if you ask your park that you're staying in, your campground,
They have
for
connections.
recommendations, we've even been in parks and the RV techs live there in the parks. They're full-time residents, and they have their van or their advertising out front, and they'll come right over and take care of you.
And these are good folks from what we've understand. Obviously, we haven't had to use one yet, knock on wood again.
On
but
this rig.
On
we
this
have
rig.
used one previously.
But, you know, these guys are wizards.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
know.
they know exactly
These
what's wrong.
RVs inside and out.
They know different models, and they can pinpoint what's wrong, get you fixed. And
so don't be afraid to use them. They're great.
yeah, they might have $80 an hour charge or whatever, but you know, they're going to be done in an hour or two, and it's way better than having to take your rig in just so you can save the money on the warranty. So that's just my advice. If you want to take it in and drop it off for a couple months, you know, that's your thing. But I don't recommend it. They're very backed up at the RV dealerships, and you may not get fixed for a long time.
And I have one more last point I want to bring up.
Yes.
Expect to have an excellent adventure right up here.
Yeah.
This is awesome out here, you guys.
Yeah.
We are just having a ball. We had no idea it was going to be this fun. So if you're thinking about it, go for it. I mean, if you're at the point where this is a thought, give it a try. You know, it's absolutely awesome. It's amazing. Every day is a new adventure.
Yeah, and if you know, have time like we did to work out the details of the whole plan and how you're going to do it and when you're going to do it, your plan will be more solid. If you just do it on a whim and say, yeah, today I'm going to sell my house and buy an RV, probably not the best plan. Maybe it'll work for you. What if you're that fed up, you know? But if you have a solid plan like we did, and ours was about 3 years, we feel like we really covered everything, and we made a good choice because it's 100% worked out, 110% worked out. And I know I'm a little long-winded, but we say to ourselves, as great as we thought this was going to be, it's that much better. We've just had a ball. It's been fantastic, and we smile all day, and it's fantastic.
So come out and join us. We would love to have you out here and see you on the road, and we look forward to meeting all of you someday. Let us know in the comments if you're going to be somewhere, or send us an email. Our email address is in our description.
Yep.
We'd love to hear from you guys, and
we really appreciate our subscribers. You know, you guys have made our channel pretty successful in a short period of time, and you know, we don't think we're anything that great, but apparently you guys like us. So
we'll keep making videos.
We're going to keep making videos. Yeah. And if you have suggestions on a type of video you'd like to see
or know about, we'd be more than happy to do more RV type videos about the actual rig. But people seem to really like the travel, and that's our favorite part. So that's what we're kind of focusing on at this point.
And if you want us to travel someplace and check it out for you, you know, we might seriously consider that. I've actually thought about jumping out of a plane with a parachute.
Yeah, no.
Steffi says, So we're going to keep it on the ground, and but we're going to travel the whole country for many years, and we plan on seeing everything. So
and meeting you guys.
Yeah, we want to meet you guys and hang out and have a good old time.
Yeah. For sure.
So come on out on the road. You know, you're not going to be sorry. Have a good plan. You know, plan it out really good, and you know, reach out to us if you have any questions.
Please let us know if you have any questions. We're here. I mean, we've been through everything that anyone as a newbie has been through.
Yep.
And so we are here for you, and we know what you're going through. We can sympathize and laugh with you and make jokes about it. It's all good.
And that's the important thing about this life. If you can't laugh at stuff, it's going to be stressful. So if you're you know, kind of a stressful type A personality, you're probably going to bring that with you when you hit the road. So you got to be kind of chill and you know, just
enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Fun.
It's fantastic.
So take care, everyone, and thanks for watching. Hit the
subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button.
Excellent
Tell
adventure.
your friends and family about it, and we will talk with you soon.
Yeah, come on out, guys. We love you.
Bye.